All right, what's up, fellas? Time for Wake Up Mintzy. Drinking some Stella Blue today for sure because it was a late night in that Barstool office last night. And I just want to give a big shout out to the Stool After Dark crew, all the behind the scenes guys that make it happen. Lucas does a great job with production, freaking devious mind, all the crazy shit he had us doing. Obviously Tate does a great job running it, but also shout out to Ryan and White Boy Rick and Social and just the whole crew that made it happen because we had a just wild stream last night on Barstool After Dark. I mean, I knew it was going to be crazy going in. The Mintzy Madison, they had me in my Billy Madison outfit with the cap and the V-neck vest, but it was even crazier than I expected. And we're joined by Tyler Moody today as well from Louisiana. We got some clips from the stream we're going to share. But, man, just completely nuts. Had to pass 1st through 12th grade and started at 7 p.m. and finished taking the ACT at 2:40 a.m. in the morning. And just so much happened in between. Like, I got home last night at like 3:30, and my brain was still wired from it because so much had happened. It was like hard to even process. There was so much stuff with it. But awesome stream. Started out in 1st grade. Had to do like an alphabet hunt and find something in the office for every letter A through Z. Had 30 minutes. Failed it the first time. Missed like 2 or 3 letters. Second time, went back and got it. But I thought we were in for a real struggle when 1st grade ended up taking an hour and like 10 minutes. But luckily, got a little better from there. This thing, the creativity is just off the charts. It was still after dark. But we had like a 4th grade. I had to do a physical fitness test and run a 10-minute mile. Luckily, that wasn't too much of a problem in this day and age because I've been training. So what's up, Moody? How are you today?
Yo, what's going on, brother? Sorry about that. I was trying to get everything set up for us here. So what we're gonna do, I'll just kind of pull you up, and I'm gonna scroll through the Twitter feed from last night, and just kind of let the videos play, and you can talk about them as you want, and we'll move through. Because I can't, for some reason, whenever I pull up the full video, like it makes team viewers start lagging real bad, and it may kick me out. So I'm just gonna kind of scroll through. We'll play them and let you talk about them. All right.
All right. Sounds good. And we're gonna get into Major League Baseball trade deadline with Moody behind it too because it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one he's showing when I got to high school, my 9th grade, I had home ec and had to, okay, you're scrolling. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go down to the beginning and kind of let you start from the top of it.
All right.
I'm just getting there.
I mean, there's just so much in this thing. It was just.
There's a ton.
That was what was so crazy is how much happened. All right.
Sorry, it was.
And we had the punishment wheel is just outrageous, man. I mean, after I failed 1st grade, Tate and either one of us would have to take the punishments. Tate had to take a body shot of water out of my belly button, dude. That's tough.
All right. That was the one thing that I saw. Where was that? You had to. Here it is, right here. Now, both of you guys. This was one of the crazier things that I've actually ever seen at Barstool.
I had to do it from him too. Yes, poor Tate's blindfolded, has to take a shot of water out of my belly button, dude. That's tough. That's tough. Oh, God. Just watch it. I mean, that's rough, man. That punishment wheel, though. I mean, we had the mouse traps and the lemon eye. And,
tough.
I mean, it was like a towel slap. But that was a rough scene. Yeah, and then there's a clip of me like going to the PMT studio because I had to figure out a U for 1st grade, and so I went uniform, and so I went and grabbed the Blake Bortles Jaguars uniform, and then that's me putting it back up. But they were giving me some crap. And then the ending of the 1st grade, I had the letter V left, and I was wearing a V-neck sweater, and so I just ripped it off. So we went tarps off with the, showed up. We got the week. I got the kind of new body going. It's not too bad. At least I'm definitely less self-conscious about having my shirt off now, which is good.
I mean, as much weight as you've dropped, you got to start to feel yourself a little bit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then we had multiplication tables. but they did it where it was like I got all 29 right, but the timer was you had to do 45 and 60 seconds, but the chat overruled Lucas because I went 29 for 29, so I got through second grade. There's a clip of Tate getting triple mouse. That mouse trap, I had to do that thing like 7 times, man. It definitely kind of stings, but I guess I got used to it. The triple mouse trap's tough. That Planet Fitness, man, that punishment wheel thing's a son of a bitch. It was no good.
You drew the line at the lemon eyes, right?
Yeah,
this is where you said, no,
I
not
did.
going to do that one.
No, well, I've just had 3 eye surgeries in my life, man. I don't know, like, and people said that Lucas said that's fine, because I'll do anything else, but I don't like doing anything messing with my eyes. Y'all see how I have a cross eye on camera all the time. Had to run the 10-minute mile, went tarps off, sprinting at the end. I think I ran 9:35. I didn't
get for you.
Yeah, I didn't gas it too hard. I'd already run I ran 3.25 miles before it, and I didn't want to. I don't know. I just thought I didn't want to risk trying to run like an 8-minute mile and hurt myself right now. But yeah, so I got that was easy, and then what is this? The Tate.
This is Tate. This is you taking one from Tate. This is the first clip that I saw when I woke up this morning. I was like, bro, what the hell was going on? This does not happen in elementary school. Listen, if this kind of thing is happening in your elementary school, please report it to the teacher immediately.
Yeah, this is brutal. Like I almost throw up here. Tough.
Yeah, that was a wild one right there. That was the first thing I saw. That was a little bit much.
Okay, now we're getting to the egg drop challenge. And Moody, have you ever heard of the egg drop? Because like everybody was acting like this was like a normal thing, and I had no idea.
I've seen it done before, yeah, but I haven't seen it done necessarily like this, I guess.
Okay, so they hand me an egg, and they're like, you have to get this from the second floor to the first floor without the egg cracking. And then they handed me, there was some like cotton, there was a box, there were some rubber bands, there was some tape, and they were like, figure it out. So the first time I put it all in the cotton in the box and dropped the box, and it shattered everywhere. I thought the cotton might be good enough to shield the fall. And then they kind of hinted to like, the second time I was like, okay, well, let's get more padding. So I went in the gambling cave and grabbed a Raising Cane's pillow and ripped out the pillow and put the box with the cotton and the egg in the pillow, thinking that might be enough. But then it shattered again. And then the third time, I tried to do it with a balloon to like make it a softer fall, but I didn't balance it, hook it up right, and that shattered again. And then the fourth time, they were like, yeah, somebody said something about if you put it in a jar of peanut butter, it's supposed to not crack. And I was like, screw it, we'll try it. And I put the egg in the full jar of peanut butter with the cotton, and then I put it in the Cane's pillow, and it somehow worked. So it took 4 times.
I think this one cracked me up. You just basically fingers deep in the peanut butter trying to get the egg in there.
Yeah. And they were like, why didn't you use a spoon? And I said, I didn't think of that.
Classic right there.
Yeah. Pledge ship. All right, then we got to I had to tie a tie, which was a little bit of a war of attrition, but I actually learned how, which was good because I probably need to know that at 42 years old. And then they had a mannequin out there for me to dance for the like high school dance. So that's me dancing with some mannequin. It was pretty funny.
And all right, now this right here, this blew my mind that you do this. I'm not surprised by it, but this was a very interesting way to put your hand completely on there. Not just like hold your hand above it, but full out putting your hand on there was a bit ballsy.
Probably not very smart. But for all my bad experiences in the Barstool kitchen, this actually wasn't that bad. Had to cook like a steak. The first one was supposed to be medium rare, and I overcooked it a little bit. But then the second one was well done, and I made sure I got that one right and passed. So the cooking actually went better than I expected. I mean, granted, the bar's been set very low. So there's my well done little thin steak. Or that one, I think, is medium rare. Yeah. But at least I didn't burn the place down. Oh, yeah. There's a clip of the mousetrap. Alive, boys. What a crazy stream, dude. Oh, I still got to do one more. Oh, triple's brutal.
Thank you, sir. I think I left my phone over here.
And then, that last one.
Why didn't it do it?
Kept thinking it would get.
Why didn't it go?
I don't know. It might be safe. Press it down.
It didn't.
Oh, there we go. Okay. And then we had to do sophomore year of high school was a crossword puzzle while we were walking on the treadmill in the Stairmaster, and it took us like 35 minutes, but we got it. That was a battle. And then the last two are the best, maybe the best two. So did you see the driving test stuff, Moody?
I did, yeah. This was one of the videos I downloaded originally.
Yeah. So I definitely hit the cone like twice. And driving Tate's girlfriend's car, by the way. Yeah. I didn't know there was a backup camera in the car, and so that would have rough, man.
Those wheels are going the wrong way.
Have you ever had a car with a backup camera? Was that your first one? Like the first time driving a car?
I've like rented cars to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was tough though, dude. The cone coming out of nowhere on me. I backed out eventually.
Well, I was going to say, what's going through your mind here that took you so long to make a decision on this?
Smoked it. Yeah. Not good. I didn't know I had the camp backup kit on that one. And then they sit me down before senior year and say you got to make a 21 on the ACT to get through. And they let the stoolies vote in the chat on which section I had to take. And when they voted, I was just like, just don't give me science and I'll be okay. And they give me science on the first one. Because I know I suck at science reasoning. And so I took it and I got a 19 on the science. Yeah, look at my face. I'm just in horror with the ACT. And then I took the math and somehow got a 21 on the nose. Even though
here it is.
Moment of truth. Mintzy has submitted the final question.
Yeah,
29! Yes! Man, the math.
Not any fake.
Wow, hit it on the
21!
Hit it on the nose.
21!
Unbelievable.
21!
7 hours,
Unbelievable.
40 minutes.
God. After I got into Ole Miss,
That's a long
now I get to start my
Mintzy, go
10-year
stand by
journey.
it. I want to take a picture with you.
Cap it down,
man.
threw the cap in the air. Just absurd. But like I said, great stream. I mean, after dark, crushing. But
you got to give Tate a ton of credit. He's been putting.
And Lucas designed
and Lucas, yeah, sure.
They're the combo behind it. No, ton of credit, but great stream, and thanks to everybody that watched it. Got a lot of good reviews because it was funny because we had the Mintzy Madison idea last year and we did a couple and then shelved it, and so a lot of people were hating like, oh, recycled content, but then everybody loved the stream. I mean, it got pretty It's hard to get like universal great feedback at Barstool because fans are gonna love and hate you, but it was pretty overwhelmingly positive. So big night.
And you guys also got everything together in one night. It wasn't wait a week, go through a
No,
grade.
I think it was way better as one night as opposed to
100%.
thing. Today, so Barstool, we're doing streams every Wednesday afternoon with DraftKings for the live unlimited home run boost. Appreciate the picks, Moody, even if they didn't hit.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I really hadn't gone through the games just yet, so I kind of glanced at it and just threw a couple at you that I felt like may have had life today. So not my best effort. I do apologize on that, Mintzy, but I'm going to throw something together for the late night here, whenever we get finished.
We're going to keep doing these streams every Wednesday afternoon, apparently, these home
Okay.
run streams. So they're fun. Baseball-wise, some stuff to get into here. It looks like the Cubs ended up winning that game, I think. They were up 8-3 last I saw.
They were up, 9-3 last time I checked. They were kind of 10-3 final. So the Cubs get one back. The Brewers have looked better than them for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, beat up on them the last 2 days, but the Cubs get one back here at the end. So great series so far, and it's going to be fun down the stretch between those two teams, Mitz.
Yeah, it is. And the Chicago-Milwaukee rivalry with them being close is fun, too. Brewers have like an unsung good fan base.
The Brewers, in my personal opinion, are one of the most underrated franchises in all of sports as far as their ability to year after year put together good teams without spending too much money. They do a good job in free agency without breaking the bank. Their minor league system's decent. Like, I really have a lot of respect for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's the reason I picked them to win that division before the season when everybody else was writing them off. It's the reason I went through, doubled down on them a couple weeks ago. I think they're just a really good organization that understands what they need at that particular time to make the team better. And while they don't hit a ton of home runs, their pitching staff is good, not great. They do just enough to find wins, and they're a scrappy bunch. And as long as Jackson Cheerio's healthy down the stretch, I think they're going to be the team to win that division. I really do.
Well, they went 2 out of 3, big series over the Cubs. Other thing I thought was notable was everybody was talking about the Tigers going through that 1-11 stretch, but now they won Sunday, and now they just swept the Diamondbacks. So, I mean, they just ripped off 4 in a row. I mean, it's so easy to, like, if you're like a real diehard fan of a team, to go high and low when you go through the highs and lows. But, like, dude, this is baseball. Like, everybody, I mean, the Yankees are obviously going through a bad stretch right now too. But everybody's going to have – I know the Tigers going 1-11 is like a pretty extremely bad stretch, but I still thought people were, like, over-panicking.
I actually hate the fans that get overhyped or, really pissed off whenever the team's doing bad and they're fire everybody, trade everyone. Like, baseball is a 162 game season. If you have seen your GM put your team in a good position, then you just roll with the ups and downs. You stay a fan through and through, and you give them the same energy 24/7. You don't turn your back on your team. There's some people that, I don't think they're real fans. I think they enjoy the attention that comes with being a fan, but they're not a true fan of their team. And I don't know, man. It's like for the Rangers this season, super slow start, but you haven't seen me bitching about them at all. In fact, I've been telling you they're going to be just fine. Chris Young has put the Rangers in a good position to still make a run at this down the stretch. I'm not worried. I'm not going to get too sad if things go bad for a week or so. I'm going to continue to believe in this team because I think they've put together a good squad that's going to have a chance down the stretch.
Yeah, certainly seems like it. They've been hot since the break. Okay, I want to get into the trade deadline stuff with you because I think a lot's going to happen in this next, 24 hours. Starting with, so a lot of teams need to add pitching. A lot of people think the Mets are going to add arms specifically. There's rumors of Dylan Cease going to the Astros. What kind of moves are you looking? What do you think? Anything you see coming?
I do think there's a chance that Dylan Cease gets moved. It's either going to be the Astros or potentially the Red Sox. Those are the two teams that have been the most closely linked to Dylan Cease. They seem, the Red Sox, I don't think they want to get rid of Jarren Duran, but it feels like that what the Padres want in return is Jarren Duran for Dylan Cease plus something out of their system. So we'll see if that ends up coming to fruition. I think the Astros make more sense. Don't write off the Blue Jays. I've seen the Blue Jays potentially linked to Dylan Cease as well. They're obviously in first right now in the American League East. There's a chance that they could make a move. They're not as desperate for starting pitching as the Astros are right now, so I would not be surprised to see Dylan Cease end up with the Astros. I also wouldn't be super surprised to see Dylan Cease stay put in San Diego. I don't think he is a slam dunk, a home run, I should say, to be traded at the deadline. I think there's a chance, but I don't think it's a guaranteed chance the way some people do.
Okay, some other pitchers that could be on the move: Sandy Alcantara in Miami. Marlins always fire sale at the deadline, even though they are playing better this year. Do you think he gets moved?
I think there's a chance he could get moved. He's not. They kind of messed up. They probably should have traded him before the season. I
Yeah,
understand
no, 'cause he's
everybody
had a
wanted to
really
see.
bad year. His ERA 6.36. He did pitch his best game of the year though the other night against the Padres.
He did. He's got upside. His velocity's finally ticking back up just a little bit. I do think there's a chance he could be traded. I just don't think the Marlins are going to get the value that they really want. They were in a weird situation with him before the season because he was coming off an injury. They wanted him to get his value back up to where they thought it could be. Instead, he's tanked his value further. So I don't know. Again, he's a guy that somebody can probably get for fairly cheap at this point, depending on how eager the Marlins are to move him. They're obviously not playing for a playoff spot. I do expect him to get moved. One pitcher that has become a very hot topic the last couple days, and I don't know if he's going to get moved, but apparently the Yankees are closely tied to Mackenzie Gore, who is a stud left-hander. He's one of the pieces that came over in that big trade for Juan Soto. There is a chance that Mackenzie Gore, who's in the midst of a breakout season for sure, he could potentially be on the move. It sounds like the Yankees are the most likely team if he gets traded. We'll see if that happens. He's going to cost as much as any starting pitcher on the market if he does get moved.
Okay. Any other names to watch right now?
Mitch Keller, David Bednar, two players from the Pirates that could potentially get moved. I think that's, everybody knows the Pirates are out of it this season. They need to capitalize. Wouldn't be surprised to see them move one of them. The Cubs have been closely linked to Mitch Keller throughout this entire thing. I would think it's more likely for Mitch Keller to end up with the Cubs than maybe a Dylan Cease or somebody of that manner. So I think that he's one that could get moved. We just saw Chris Paddock get traded to the Tigers. Some of the closers that you have to pay attention to: Ryan Helsley, Joan Duran, and Griffin Jacks are three guys that I think could be on the move. Phil Maton maybe as well from the Cardinals, but there's three guys right there that I just mentioned that could easily take over as damn near any team's closer in baseball. Helsley and Duran are studs. Griffin Jacks has incredible upside with the strikeout. I mean, he's got elite stuff. I think there's going to be some teams, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Rangers, the Phillies, that are really going to need some bullpen help. Expect two of those dudes at least to be on the move to one of those four teams that I just mentioned, Mintz.
Nope. Okay.
And maybe the Tigers could be in that conversation as well.
Okay. So yeah, should be some wild action tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hoping there'll be some wild action. We kind of get blue balled with this sometimes, right? Like as fans, we're like, oh, there's going to be some crazy stuff at the trade deadline. In the last couple years, it kind of has been a little bit of stuff happening. Other names we got to pay attention to: Eugenio Suarez. Obviously,
could he go to the Tigers?
The Tigers are the most likely candidate to land him right now. After the Yankees made a move for Ryan McMahon, that essentially took them out of the mix. But it feels like it's the Mariners and the Tigers that would be the two most likely teams to run down Eugenio Suarez. He's probably going to cost as much, if not more, than anyone that we've talked about so far. Mackenzie Gore maybe would cost a little bit more because he has a little bit of control. But Eugenio Suarez most certainly going to be the most coveted bat going into tomorrow. Two other names to pay attention to: Marcell Ozuna and Luis Robert Jr. I just think that they have to get moved. I mean, the Braves are smart. They're a good franchise. They're going to capitalize on Ozuna. He's hit a couple home runs the last 2 days. They're going to get decent value for him. The White Sox were a team that decided to bring Luis back last year when they should have traded him last trade deadline. Then they said, oh, we're going to do it in the offseason. Then they still didn't do it, and now here he is, still a Chicago White Sox, and all he's done this year is put together his worst season of his career.
And he's been hurt, too.
And he's been hurt. He's destroyed his value. The White Sox have absolutely screwed up everything that they've done as a franchise for the longest amount of time now, and that includes the handling of Robert. I just think they've got to get something back in return for him. But we'll see. I personally would love to see the Rangers go get him. They need a right-handed bat that can crush left-handed pitching. He makes perfect sense. He'll be a little bit more expensive than Ozuna, I do believe, because he plays premium defense. So we'll see what happens with those guys. But the Cubs are a team to pay attention to as well because they have a ton of left-handed bats in their lineup. They'd love to get another right-handed bat. The Cubs could potentially be in play and send him right across this one side of the town right there in Chicago. Man,
that would be a pretty seamless transition for Luis Robert if that happens. Well, I'm looking forward to watching all this, and hopefully something will happen because, I'm a little more interested in baseball this year than I have been in a while.
We've got a chance for it to be an exciting trade deadline. We'll see what happens. One thing that will happen, I'll guarantee you one thing that happens. The Dodgers will get bullpen help. That is the one thing that is an absolute guarantee. The rich will get richer. They will more than likely get one of the big names. I kind of expect them to go after Duran. I really think he's going to end up being the closer for the Dodgers this time by Friday. So that's the one thing that I will guarantee. And I think Suarez gets traded too. One thing that wouldn't surprise me is for the Texas Rangers to do nothing at the deadline, to just roll with everything they've got, move forward. I don't want that to be the case, but I think it's most certainly a possibility.
All right. Well, there's the Moody trade deadline preview, and you said you're going to look up games tonight in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll put out my late plays tonight. I was just super busy earlier today, so I will. I'll get some home run bets out here in just a little bit. Kind of been the last month. I've just been sitting around even. Haven't really been losing any, winning a little bit here.
Yeah, that's not bad
back.
though. The home run bets are the hardest thing to beat I've seen, like in sports gambling.
Yeah, I mean, we're up 40 units on the season. I want to be up more, obviously. I kind of set a goal for 60 to start the season. So we're close, a nice little closeout down the stretch, get to 60. I feel good about it. So let's, I'll try.
How many of those 40 units you think Nick Kurtz has accounted for? Like 25?
No, I would say, probably 15 or so. I will tell you this. He cost me a few parlays early on whenever he first got called up.
You were on him right when he came up.
I was on him the second he came up. I mean, I was telling everybody this is going to be the next superstar. And I was betting him a lot. And I had back-to-back nights, 3 nights in a row, where he was the third leg on one of my parlays that hit 2. And he didn't come up with anything. And now, of course, he's just on fire every night. And we're not getting value for him anymore. At the time, he was going plus 600, plus 750. Like, it was crazy the amount of value we were getting on Nick Kurtz. Obviously, Vegas is not handing out those kind of odds anymore. So, is what it is. We'll find a new guy to bring us some odds here soon. There will be some call-ups. Look, we're approaching September. There's going to be some names that could potentially get called up and change the back end of this season. One name to pay attention to, Andrew Painter for the Phillies. They're not desperate for pitching by any means, but he is one of the best arms in all of baseball. I do think they could bring him up and potentially use him out of their bullpen. He is a guy that could be a contributor in the playoffs for the Phillies. Someone to pay attention to in my mind.
All right. I feel very knowledgeable now. There you go. There you go. Tomorrow we got Todd Furman. We're going to go super heavy college football. Excited about that. We're going to look at Heisman odds and odds to win conferences and national championships. And I'm going to prep a bunch of good preview questions for Todd, who's one of the best gambling follows on Twitter. You can follow him there. Shout out Dude Wipes as always, too, cleaning up our messes. Amazon, Walmart, Target, all over the World Wide Web. Let it rip with Dude Wipes. They're blowing up. They're absolutely crushing. And I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to go work out and run. And y'all have a great day. And thanks for watching Wake Up Mintzy and Mintzy Madison last night. Back tomorrow.